Hello, this is Bennett Forrest, your fantasy football commish. Time for the last and final ForrestLand MishMash fantasy football weekly recap of the season. We have a 2011 champ crowned. It is the real Slim Aussies. Congratulations to the Slim Aussies and, of course, the owner, me, Bennett Forrest, for winning the 2011 ForrestLand MishMash Fantasy Football Championship. All right, it was awesome. I'm so excited. I was biting my nails the whole weekend watching these games. It was close. The runner-up game was amazing as well. Ended up in a tie. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'm so happy to have won my first fantasy football championship since I was in college, since I graduated. That was a great year. December 99, graduated college, won fantasy football. But it's been a long, dry spell since. I think everybody in the league really had to do a good job managing this year because injuries more than ever popping up in the NFL, and there's just no way that the team you're going to have at the beginning of the year is going to be the team that's going to carry you the whole way through. It just doesn't happen. So you have to be on the waiver wire. You have to ride hot and cold streaks and injuries, and I think everyone did a great job. Obviously, I must have just done slightly better than the rest because I did win the championship. So I'm very happy about that. Excuse me. So let's talk about the game. Again, real nail biter the whole way. It was tied up until about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter of Monday night's game. So amazingly, it came down to the last game. First, we had Christmas Eve, or was it? Yeah, Christmas Eve day. We had the full slate of games. Early games, Hartford Whalers broke out to a nice lead. In spite of Tom Brady not doing anything in the first half, he had a great second half, ended with 31 points. Cam Newton with 34. He would have been the fantasy football MVP for the Whalers had they won because Cam Newton was definitely not picked that high this year, but yet had an amazing year. Also, that's on the positive side for the Whalers. On the negative side, Brandon Lloyd against the Steeler defense, only with 5 points. And the Broncos defense giving up 40 points and getting -2. So you never want to get negative out of anyone on your championship game. Another bright spot was Rob Baronis had two 50-yard field goals and ended up with 15 points. As for the Aussies, they only had one person in the early game. Solid but not spectacular, 16 points from Reggie Bush. Definitely could have used a touchdown or two to make that better. But once New England started coming back, Reggie Bush was a non-factor. So a nice lead going into the second round of games at 4 o'clock. The Carson Palmer to Darius Hayward-Bay combination canceled out. Carson Palmer for the Aussies and Hayward-Bay for the Whalers, each with 11 points. Phillip Rivers had a mediocre day along with Ryan Matthews, only 21 points between the two of them. Luckily, Calvin Johnson had a nice 21 points. The Lions defense had a garbage interception touchdown. That actually worked in my favor, having the defense playing my own quarterback. So anytime Rivers threw a pick, it was -2, and then it canceled out with the +2 for the Lions defense. So that was a good move. And also the touchdown late in the game obviously got an extra 6 points for the Lions defense. And also had Jason Hanson with 10 points. The biggest killer for the Whalers, though, was the lack of production from the Dallas Cowboys. Now, because the Giants had won, the Philly-Dallas game was meaningless. Not only that, but Tony Romo gets hurt on the first drive of the game. So that basically put Laurent Robinson and Jason Witten as non-factors. Laurent Robinson, who's been a great pickup for Matt all year long, and only had 1 point. Jason Witten was 6. By the way, the Reggie Bush pickup for the Slim Aussies was amazing. Started about week 8. I picked him up on the waiver wire for whatever reason, injuries, bye weeks, had no expectation of anything, and he turned out to be my stud running back the rest of the way once Matt Forte got hurt. So definite unsung hero to Reggie Bush, who had, 500-yard games in the last 9 weeks, and 6 touchdowns. So Reggie Bush, definitely the unsung hero for the Aussies.